Let's go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Heartland Championship Wrestling. My name is Dave Little, and we are coming to you live from the Dave Cave with action from Patriot Championship Wrestling. And already the chat room is buzzing. Lots of folks on hand here tonight for this evening's broadcast. Our main event will be for the vacant Patriot Heavyweight Championship, as BRUNO SAMMARTINO takes on Kurt Angle. That championship recently vacated by Buddy Rogers, who has won the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. So it will be Angle versus BRUNO in tonight's main event, and I can't wait to see that one. Already the chat room is filling up. Neely Bob first in line. The number one fan of the Heartland is here, along with Kathy Evans, Derek Bauman 802, and Bear 805. Now, I did a little sleuthing and somehow figured out that I believe Bear 805 and Christopher Baker are the same person. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I figured that out at the Filsinger Games Perennial. So if that is indeed the case, welcome. And I have been watching Christopher Baker's Facebook posts lately. This guy is remarkably talented with generative AI and image generation. He is making some incredible stuff, both for his Champions of the Galaxy line and also for some of the WWF. He's been working on the Kabuki Warriors and Io Sky this week, and wow, that guy has some talent. But yeah, that's the thing. I see names scroll across in YouTube, and I don't always connect them to the names on the board or the names on the Facebook pages. So yeah, Bear 805, welcome. Neil Lau, of course, promised some announcements tonight from Velvet Wrestling, so we are looking forward to that. I am once again fighting a cold, so my voice is sort of hit or miss, and I'll have to take breaks in between matches and sort of keep things at a low profile throughout the show. But let's run down the preliminary matches that took place before we went to air. The show opened with a very competitive and very engaging tag team matchup, as the team of Mr. Wrestling 1 and Mr. Wrestling 2 defeated the team of Brickhouse Brown and Iceman King Parsons, when Mr. Wrestling 2 pinned Iceman Parsons with the $1 Million Knee Lift. Next up, we had a couple of qualifying matches for the Patriot Heavyweight Championship. John Pesic, the Nebraska Tiger Man, picked up a win over Ilio DiPaolo. Mike Lowe asks Bear 805. Let me check on that. I've got the settings up on my OBS. I'll tweak that up a little bit and maybe bring it a little closer. I seem to be getting good tone, but thank you for the comment. Yeah, John Pesic, the Nebraska Tiger Man, defeated Buffalo's own Ilio DiPaolo with the Tiger Man toehold. And then it was the Great Gama, Indian legend, defeating Vader with the Gama throw. So those two men, John Pesic and the Great Gama, will be next in line to become number one contender to the winner of tonight's main event for the Patriot Heavyweight Championship. And just before we came to air, it was a bit of an unusual situation, as Bob Backlund lost a match by way of disqualification, a very rare incident against Ed Strangler Lewis. Lewis had the famous Strangler's headlock in place, and Backlund, desperately trying to avoid submission, actually inadvertently caught Ed Strangler Lewis with a blow to the eyes, fingers to the eyes, by Bob Backlund as he was attempting to escape. Backlund, of course, remorseful, as he always would be, having lost that match by disqualification. Mark Ferguson now joining us here. And that brings us to tonight's opening contest. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 45-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect. This is a number 1 contenders match to the Patriot Tag Team Championship. Introducing first, team number 1 out of Atlanta, Georgia. He stands at 6'3" and weighs 247 pounds. This is Thunderbolt Patterson. And his tag team partner hails from Los Angeles, California, standing at 5'9", weighing 237 pounds. This is Pepper Gomez. So Pepper Gomez, Thunderbolt Patterson joining forces for perhaps a run at the Patriot Tag Team Championship. Of course, your reigning champions, the Road Warriors. Whoever wins this match is going to have their work cut out for them in the Tag Team Championship match. But their opponents, hailing from Memphis, Tennessee, at a total combined weight of 450 pounds, collectively known as the Rock and Roll Express, it's Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. So two very popular teams, very well liked and respected by the crowd here. We are in Philadelphia tonight at the Philadelphia Civic Center, and the Philadelphia fans are giving it up for both these teams as they come to the center of the ring for this number 1 contenders match, with a shot at the Road Warriors on the line. It will be Ricky Morton starting things out against Pepper Gomez as they come together in the center of the ring. It is Pepper Gomez who takes the opening initiative role and catches a headlock. Headlock applied on Ricky Morton. He is not able to get over and make the tag, and Pepper follows that up with a big clubbing forearm across the back, and oh, that puts Ricky Morton down. Quickly, Ricky Morton is down. Pepper Gomez going for the stomach claw, softening up Ricky Morton. And Morton remains in trouble here. Babyface in peril to start this match, but he is able to make the tag to Robert Gibson. And Gibson comes into the ring now, the legal man for the Rock and Roll Express. Robert Gibson comes out quickly with a hip toss on Pepper Gomez, and Gomez makes the tag over to Thunderbolt. So now it is Thunderbolt Patterson moving out against Robert Gibson with a side headlock and a takeover down to the canvas. Thunderbolt in control, now going for a double chop to the neck. And following that up with a right uppercut that stuns Robert Gibson. Thunderbolt coming out with some rough stuff here, and that may be the best way to take the measure of Ricky and Robert. And now it is Thunderbolt going for a big body slam, and he got him down. And Robert, desperately trying to make the tag, is unable to do so. And that is going to open up a double team attempt for the team of Patterson and Gomez. And it is a running forearm smash delivered by Pepper Gomez that keeps his team in control here. And Gomez takes Robert Gibson up into a top wrist lock. Wrist lock applied by Pepper Gomez. Gibson is going to call upon the services of his partner to come into the ring. Ricky and Robert joining forces on a double back body drop that takes Pepper Gomez up, over, and down to the canvas. Ricky now the legal man in the ring. Pepper unable to make the tag as Ricky comes in and goes up for a death jump. Death jump to be attempted here by Ricky Morton, and on a roll of 6 he nailed him. He got him with a flying drop kick off the top turnbuckle. Ricky still in control. He's going for a cross body block. He goes for the cover. The pinroll here is 3, and Pepper easily able to kick out. Now Robert comes into the ring. It's a double team opportunity for the Rock and Roll Express, and it is a bone-crunching double clothesline. I don't know if the Rock and Roll Express ever pulled off a bone-crunching double clothesline in their lives. They're two of the skinniest armed wrestlers you will ever see, but they are in control here. and it is Robert preventing Pepper Gomez from escaping the ring. And Robert instead with the back elbow smash. He's going to go for the cover. And Pepper Gomez again able to kick out. The rock and rolls have established momentum here after that double team back body drop. And now again, Gomez tries to escape the ring, and again, Robert calls on the services of Ricky for a double team. That one is a leg puller and punch. And Ricky now is in control against Pepper Gomez. Desperately needs a tag here. And it is Ricky Morton now with a big fist drop that stuns Pepper Gomez. Ricky follows that up. Oh, here's a double team tag move, a slingshot stomp, and that is an add one. And that now makes Robert Gibson the legal man in the ring. And that is 3 points of fatigue against Pepper Gomez. So Thunderbolt Patterson is going to try and intervene on behalf of his teammate. But on a roll of 10, it is Ricky hitting the ring and taking out Thunderbolt Patterson. And that leaves Robert Gibson in the ring and in control. Gibson now, what's he going to do? He's going to go for the Gibson leg lock. And Pepper Gomez slowly trying to get to his feet as Gibson now follows up with a series of rapid-fire knee drops. Pepper Gomez still down and hurting, and here's that leg puller and punch. But oh, this time Pepper Gomez on the reversal gets control and hits a series of shuffle punches to the side of the head of Robert Gibson. And now Pepper Gomez makes the legal tag, and Thunderbolt Patterson is your legal man in the ring. Here comes Thunderbolt, series of punches to the body. Can Robert make the tag? Yes, indeed he can. Ricky and Thunderbolt now squaring off in the center of the ring. Very competitive match here. Ricky going for the monkey flip, unable to get him over, as Thunderbolt on the power move takes advantage with a big kick to the chest, and Ricky goes down once again. Ricky Morton is down. Thunderbolt Patterson goes for the big headbutt. He's going to go for the cover. The pin roll here is 4, and on a roll of 10, Ricky able to kick out. Thunderbolt still in control, and now he's going to pitch Ricky out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And on the arena floor, Ricky is just going to make that helpless crawl back into the ring where Thunderbolt is waiting. This is a double team opportunity for Patterson and Gomez. And they hit the bone-crunching double clothesline on Ricky. And Ricky now is down once again. Pepper Gomez in control. Pepper goes to the Mexican cradle. He's going to go for the cover, and Ricky once again forced to kick out. Pepper Gomez now in control. Pepper with a Mexican leap. Roll one die. If even, Gomez immediately does the Mexican cradle, and yes, indeed, that is even. So it's the Mexican cradle plus 1. The pin roll here 5 or lower. He may get him if Robert can't make the save, and sure enough, he got him. Pepper Gomez gets the win with the Mexican cradle on Ricky Morton. So congratulations to your new #1 contenders for the Patriot Tag Team Championship. Pepper Gomez hit that Mexican cradle and got the win, got the pinfall on Ricky Morton to send Pepper Gomez and Thunderbolt Patterson to a title match against the Road Warriors. I'm not sure that's anybody's idea of a good time. That match will take place in March in our March pay-per-view broadcast called All My Rage from Chicago. Superstars of Patriot Championship Wrestling and Heartland Ladies Wrestling will join forces in Chicago to bring you the March pay-per-view. All right, looks like a lot of stuff happened in the chat room during that match. I don't always keep track of the chat while I'm rolling a match, but let's see where we left off. Mark Ferguson joined us. Arn Anderson is the current Intercontinental Champion in Velvet. Mark Ferguson expressing his fear that Mr. Backlund is back. Yeah, Mr. Backlund was quite entertaining. Patterson and Pepper were in Dallas in Mark Ferguson's youth. You can say a lot of things about Papa Fritz, but he did have great talent. Another announcement from Velvet: Spirios Arion is the Memorial Champ. And Susan Green is the Ladies Intercontinental Champ. Jay Randus also joining us here in the chat room. All right, so that gets us caught up with the chat. I'm going to take a quick sip of water here and rest the voice up a bit in time for our next matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall to a finish with no time limit and no disqualification. This is a grudge match, part of the ongoing battle between members of the Percy Pringle family and the team of Bruiser Brody and Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Introducing first, out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. He stands at 6'7". He weighs 284 pounds. This is Bruiser Brody. And his opponent hails from Silsbee, Texas. Standing at 6'4", weighing 384 pounds. He is accompanied to the ring by Percy Pringle III. This is Mark Henry. So Mark Henry set to duke it out with Bruiser Brody in a no disqualification match. Percy Pringle alongside Mark Henry for this occasion, and we get the grudge match dice going for this contest. And oh, of course, the grudge match roll is tied. That is going to take us to our Filsinger game. Face to the Mat Highlight Center booklet. Brought to you by Mark Henry. The roll is 2-4. Is Mark Henry strong? He is indeed the stronger of these two men and the world's strongest man. Opponent smashes wrestler's body with object but no effect. Wrestler responds with knee lift to take control. So Brody tried a sneak attack on Mark Henry with some sort of a foreign object. He got the ring bell after Mark Henry, and Mark Henry was unfazed. So Mark Henry now opens this match in control with a military press slam, just pounding Mark Henry into the canvas. It is rare for Bruiser Brody to face a man 100 pounds heavier, and it is indeed rare for Bruiser Brody to be military press slammed. As the solo promoter himself, Grant Bachoco, joins us here. Mark Henry now in control. Mark Henry with another big military press slam, and this time Bruiser Brody tunes it, goes down and stays down. Henry now in control with a big bear hug. Bruiser Brody struggling his way to his feet. Henry stays on him with a backbreaker across the knee, and Brody once again is down. Henry is going to pitch Brody out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And on the arena floor, on a roll of 9, it is Henry winning the brawl with a diving clothesline off of the ring apron. Henry going all out to get the measure of Bruiser Brody in this match, and now Henry with a big splash. Brody again slowly getting to his feet. Henry just can't seem to keep him down. And now Henry stomps on Bruiser Brody, and Bruiser Brody gets right up to his feet, and it's Bruiser Brody firing back with a twisting vertical suplex. Solo promoter joining us on his 5-mile walk. Good for you, man. Now it is Bruiser Brody with the one-hand body slam. Henry again getting to his feet. These two can't seem to put each other down. A stomp from Bruiser Brody. Brody follows that up with another stomp. Henry now getting to his feet. Trash talk being exchanged. Bruiser Brody attempts to fling Mark Henry across the ring. That's a power move, and Henry does not budge. Henry instead follows up with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Bruiser Brody. And on a roll of 6, that is the drop down and go the other way. And on a roll of 11, that is Mark Henry with a big splash onto Bruiser Brody coming off the ropes. Bruiser Brody is down. And now it is the world's strongest slam. That's a +3 finisher. And on a roll of 3, he got it. Wow. The Battle of the Behemoths is won by Mark Henry with the world's strongest slam over Bruiser Brody in a slugfest. It didn't take long for those two to beat the stuffings out of each other. And in the end, it is the world's strongest man with the world's strongest slam getting the pinfall victory. Congratulations to Mark Henry. All right, 2 matches down and 2 to go. And the voice is still holding on okay. Take another sip of water here. Put the ring bell away. And all is back in order here on the tabletop in the Dave Cave. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is a tag team matchup scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect. This is a #1 contenders match for the NWA World Tag Team Championship. This match will again, the title defense will again take place at our March pay-per-view entitled All My Rage from Chicago. Introducing first, team number 1. They are your current reigning Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Champions. First from San Francisco, California. He stands at 5'10". He weighs 230 pounds. This is Ray the Crippler Stevens. Miho Burns joining us in the chat room. And his tag team partner is from Beverly Hills, California, standing at 6'1", weighing 245 pounds. This is Nick Bockwinkel. So Nick Bockwinkel and Crippler Stevens recently winning the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Championship with a victory over Stan Hansen and Ole Anderson. And that victory propelled them into the top of the tag team ratings and gave them this opportunity to wrestle for a shot at the NWA World Tag Team Champions, currently held by the Midnight Express. Their opponents are your reigning Atlantic Tag Team Champions. First, from Springfield, Tennessee, standing at 6'2", weighing 236 pounds, this is Tracy Smothers. And his tag team partner from Hendersonville, Tennessee, stands at 6'3" and weighs 238 pounds. This is Tommy Wildfire Rich. So Tommy Rich, Tracy Smothers, collectively known as the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys, to take on the team of Nick Bockwinkel and Ray Stevens in this #1 contenders match for the NWA Tag Team Championship. And it will be Tracy Smothers starting things off against Nick Bockwinkel. They come together in the center of the ring, and it is Bockwinkel who takes control early with a hip toss, taking Smothers over and down to the canvas. Smothers quickly back up to his feet. Bockwinkel stays on him with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Tracy Smothers, and on a roll of 7, he's going to reverse that and send Nick Bockwinkel into the opposite turnbuckle. What's Bockwinkel going to do is he bounces off the turnbuckle. Oh, Tracy Smothers charges the turnbuckle and misses everything, hits the ring post, and tumbles out of the ring and down to the arena floor. Tracy Smothers now out on the arena floor, and on a roll of 7, Bockwinkel is going to win the brawl on the arena floor with a suplex onto the concrete. So Nick Bockwinkel, already the smartest man in this match, caused Tracy Smothers to miss at the turnbuckle and then planted him on the concrete with a suplex. They come back into the center of the ring, and it is Nick Bockwinkel with a pile driver on Tracy Smothers. Tracy slowly getting to his feet as Bockwinkel tags in Ray Stevens. Stevens comes in with a big jumping knee smash. Tracy is stunned. Stevens follows that up with a giant swing. Tracy gets right back up to his feet, and Tracy now, as they come together, hits Ray Stevens with a big drop kick. Stevens going to attempt to make the tag, unable to do so. Tracy will tag his partner Tommy Rich now coming into the ring for the first time. Tommy Wildfire Rich with some fired up punches onto Ray Stevens. It's blonde on blonde violence. And it is Tommy Rich now with a big drop kick. Stevens going to attempt to make the tag and unable to do so, as Rich stays on him with another series of fired up punches. Stevens standing his ground. Stevens on the comeback with an arm drag takes Tommy Rich down. They come together in the center of the ring, and it is Stevens with a big blow to the midsection, and that is going to take some of the starch out of Tommy Rich. Ray Stevens now methodically stalking his man, as Stevens now goes for a double underhook suplex, up, over, and down to the canvas, and he goes down and stays down. Rich is down. Ray Stevens now in control, and Stevens is going to bring in Nick Bockwinkel for a double team attack, and that is the result of an add one. Very, very helpful insight from Grant Pachoco. The concrete is the hardest part of the arena floor. Thank you, Grant, for those insights. The Heartland is a better place with you involved. Nick Bockwinkel now in control against Rich, and he's going to go for that Bockwinkel sleeper. This is a deadly move. The submission roll here is 5, and on a roll of 4, he may get him. Tommy Rich going to attempt the save, and just barely able to save his partner from the vaunted Bockwinkel sleeper. A very close call for Tommy Rich. The referee puts Smothers out of the ring, and Bockwinkel now goes with a big pile driver, and Tommy Rich is slowly trying to get to his feet. Tag to Ray the Crippler Stevens. Stevens comes in with a giant swing that plants Tommy Rich. Stevens now with a jumping knee smash, and Tommy Rich is down. Can Stevens get a finish here? He's going to pitch Tommy Rich out of the ring and down to the arena floor, and on a roll of 2, that is Tommy Rich firing up with an Irish whip into the ring barricade, and Stevens now is stunned. Rich pitches Stevens back into the ring, and Tommy Rich now with a big vertical suplex makes the tag to his partner Tracy Smothers, and the match continues. Tracy Smothers now in control with a flying shoulder block. Both men getting to their feet. They come together in the center of the ring. Stevens grabs a headlock. Stevens makes the tag to Nick Bockwinkel. Bockwinkel comes in with a forearm smash. Smothers down to one knee. Bockwinkel working him over now with an abdominal stretch. Bockwinkel follows that up with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Tracy Smothers, and on a roll of 9, that's the power roll. The power for these two men is equal, so Nick Bockwinkel maintains control. And Bockwinkel now with a big back suplex, planting Smothers. Double team opportunity for Bockwinkel and Stevens. Oh, and on a roll of 2, it is a deadly face-first double suplex. Bockwinkel goes for the cover, and Smothers able to kick out. Ray Stevens now the legal man in the ring. Yeah, Smothers takes a point of fatigue, and uh-oh, we've got a connect our encoder error here. Our encoder seems to be connected, but suddenly my YouTube control screen went blank. I don't know if I am still online or not, but according to OBS, my connection is excellent. And the sound looks excellent. And it appears that we are back. I would love to hear a heads up from somebody in the chat room. Michael BRODY joining us, and now the screen is back up. I don't know what happened there. I got error message from YouTube that my encoder was disconnected, but it indeed is connected, and we seem to be back and up and running again. I am still on, says Mark Ferguson. Ray Stevens in control against Tracy Smothers. And it is Stevens now going to pitch Tracy Smothers out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And on a roll of 8, Ray Stevens is going to win that brawl with a backdrop onto the announcer's table. Smothers still down. Ray Stevens still in control. Now Stevens is going to go up for a death jump. Death jump attempt coming up from Ray Stevens, but on a roll of 4, Tracy Smothers caught him. Smothers caught him and threw Ray Stevens down to the canvas. And it is now Tracy Smothers in control with a big elbow drop. Smothers still in control after the elbow drop. Comes at him with a clothesline. This is a choice F maneuver, choice F. So he will need a roll of 7 or lower to connect on a clothesline. And on a roll of 12, Ray Stevens got out of the way of that one. Tracy Smothers telegraphed that move, and he's going to pay the price. It is Ray Stevens with a whip to the ropes. Coming off the ropes is Tracy Smothers, but Ray Stevens set his head too soon. And Tracy Smothers caught him and dumped him with a DDT. Smothers now in control. Smothers now is going to go up for the death jump. Let's see if this works any better for Tracy. And on a roll of 11, he got all of that one. It is a perfect cross body block. He's going to go for the cover. And on a roll of 6, Ray Stevens able to kick out. Tracy now in control. Tracy going up for the jawjacker. This is his finisher. The pin roll here is 4. And on a roll of 5, Stevens barely able to kick out. Double team opportunity for the Southern boys. And on a roll of 10, it is a collision. Or no, excuse me, it is a deadly elbow smash delivered by Tommy Rich to Ray Stevens. Didn't get all of it. Stevens able to start getting to his feet, but Tommy Rich stays on him with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Stevens, and on a roll of 6, that is a big kick by Tommy Rich that stuns Ray Stevens. Stevens could really use a tag in this situation, as Tommy Rich stays on him now with a big drop kick. Rich follows that up with a fist drop. And now another double team opportunity for the Southern boys. And on a roll of 5, it is the bone-crunching double clothesline. Tracy Smothers now the legal man in the ring. Stevens is down, desperately trying to get over to make a tag. Here comes Tracy with the jawjacker. The pin roll here is 5. And again, Stevens forced to kick out. That's 3 points of fatigue. That means BOCKWINKEL is going to attempt to intervene on behalf of his partner. And on a roll of 9, it is Tommy Rich hitting the ring and taking out Nick BOCKWINKEL. So that leaves Tracy Smothers on his own against Ray Stevens. And it is an elbow drop delivered by Tracy Smothers. Ray Stevens able to roll away from that in the middle of the chaos. Stevens able to get to his feet. And as they come together, it is Stevens who's going to attempt an elbow drop to the throat. This is a choice A maneuver. So he will need 8 or lower to connect on that. And on a roll of 6, he got him. And Smothers now is hurt. Stevens will make the legal tag to BOCKWINKEL. BOCKWINKEL now the legal man in the ring and the fresh man in this match as he goes for the back suplex, planting Tracy Smothers in the ring. Now it is BOCKWINKEL going to go for a drop kick. He needs 7 or lower to hit that, and he hits it. Tracy going to try to get over and make the tag, unable to do so, as BOCKWINKEL now follows up with another big back suplex. Double team opportunity for BOCKWINKEL and Stevens results in a running forearm smash delivered by Ray Stevens. Stevens now the legal man in the ring against Tracy Smothers, and it is Stevens going to attempt a drop kick. He needs 7 or lower to hit that, and he nailed it. And Tracy Smothers is down. Smothers going to try and get over and make the tag, is able to tag in Tommy Rich. Tommy Rich comes into the ring, fists and fire, taking on Ray Stevens. Whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Stevens, and on a roll of 8, it is a big kick by Tommy Rich that stuns Ray Stevens. Tommy Rich follows that up with a fist drop. Tommy Rich is on fire. He goes for the elbow smash, but oh, Ray Stevens rolls out of the way of the elbow smash, and Stevens takes over and is going to attempt a drop kick once again, and he nails it, and Tommy Rich has been stunned. Rich slowly getting to his feet. They come together in the center of the ring. It's Tommy Rich attempting a fireman's carry. He got him down. Tommy Rich now with a big elbow smash. Stevens going to try and make the tag, unable to do so. Tommy Rich in control again with a big right uppercut. Stevens is stunned. Tommy Rich with an elbow smash. Again, Stevens tries to make the tag and finally gets over to the corner and tags in Nick Bockwinkel. Very good back and forth action we're seeing between these two teams as Bockwinkel now hits the ring and whips Tommy Rich into the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Tommy Rich, and on a roll of 6, that is the reversal. Rich grabbing Bockwinkel by the arm and sending Bockwinkel into the turnbuckle. And now it is a big specialty move executed by both men. The wrestler with the better turnbuckle rating, that would be Bockwinkel, takes control. Bockwinkel getting the better of that confrontation at the turnbuckle. And now Bockwinkel is fixing to go up for the death jump. Death jump coming up from Bockwinkel, and he nails it with a big knee smash off of the top turnbuckle that stuns Tommy Rich. Bockwinkel now goes back to the sleeper. The submission roll here 6 or lower, and that is a mandatory pin save attempt. And oh, the pin save attempt leads to chaos on a roll of 12. Your tag partner runs in, and so does the opponent's tag partner. While the referee is distracted, your partner drops an elbow on the opponent and reverses the pinning combination to put you on top. Opponent rolls pin. So Tommy Rich does take a point of fatigue from the sleeper. The Southern boys have used all of their pin attempts, and now it is Bockwinkel who has to roll the pin attempt, and he is able to kick out. But that sequence of events puts Tommy Rich in control. Smart thinking by Tracy Smothers. Tommy Rich now with a big vertical suplex. Bockwinkel slowly getting to his feet. Tommy's going to make the tag to Tracy Smothers, who is the more fresh of the Southern boys. Here's a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Bockwinkel, and on a roll of 6, that is a knee to the head delivered by Bockwinkel into the charging Tracy Smothers. Bockwinkel takes over with the abdominal stretch, attempting to weaken Smothers. Slow down the fast man. The abdominal stretch continues. Torturous as Tracy Smothers looks for the way out. And here is a drop toe hold attempted by Nick Bockwinkel. And Tracy Smothers able to reverse that one into a whip, into a double thrust. He'll need 8 or lower to hit the double thrust. He caught him. And Bockwinkel now is dazed. Smothers back in control with another double thrust attempt. This one is blocked by Nick Bockwinkel, and instead it is Bockwinkel with the drop toe hold that takes Smothers down to the canvas. Lots of good back and forth action between two fine teams. Here is a back suplex by Nick Bockwinkel. Bockwinkel still in control now with, again, the abdominal stretch. Double team opportunity for Bockwinkel and Stevens. And on a roll of 6, it is an awesome double neck breaker executed by Stevens and Smothers, or Stevens and Bockwinkel. Stevens now, the legal man. He's going to go for the bombs away. This is his finisher. The pin roll here is 5. And on a roll of 6, Tracy Smothers just able to kick out. Ray Stevens still in control. A crippling pile driver. Another pin attempt. Another kick out from Tracy Smothers. Double team attempt here for Bockwinkel and Stevens. But on a roll of 12, that is a botch. You and your partner toss the opponent into the ropes for a double clothesline, but instead, he ducks under and comes back and clotheslines both of you. Tracy Smothers taking control on level 3 offense. Tracy Smothers hits a moonsault body block. Stevens slowly getting to his feet. Smothers follows that up with an attempt at a clothesline. This is a choice F maneuver. He'll need 7 or lower to hit that one, and he nails it. And Ray Stevens is hurt. Smothers coming back with that same move again, and this time Stevens saw it coming. Stevens on the reversal with a double underhook suplex that plants Tracy Smothers in the center of the ring. Tracy desperately trying to get over to make the tag, unable to do so. Stevens will tag in Bockwinkel. Bockwinkel now with a chance for the finish here on Smothers. He's choking him on the ropes. Referee puts the count on him. Bockwinkel breaks. Whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Smothers. On a roll of 9, that is the power roll. The power is equal. And Bockwinkel maintains control. Bockwinkel now with a drop toe hold. Double team attempt for Bockwinkel and Stevens. On a roll of 9, it is a deadly elbow smash. Delivered by Ray Stevens. Tracy Smothers slowly getting to his feet. Stevens is on him. Jumping knee smash. Smothers will not go down. Stevens. Giant swing. Tracy Smothers on the reversal. Comes back with an arm drag and twist. Tracy Smothers on the arm drag and twist. Stevens unable to make the tag. Smothers. Whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Ray Stevens, and on a roll of 7, Smothers caught him with a back body drop, taking him over and down to the canvas. Smothers back in control now with a flying shoulder block. Smothers follows that up with a jumping wheel kick. Double team opportunity for the Southern boys. And oh, it's a good one. A devastating double team move that fits the style of your tag team. That is an add 1 for against Ray Stevens. Tommy Rich now the legal man in the ring. And he is going to go for a vertical suplex. Stevens slowly getting to his feet. Fist drop by Tommy Rich. Got all of that one. Can Stevens get over and make the desperation tag? No. Tommy Rich looking to finish off Ray Stevens. He's going to go up for the death jump. And on a roll of 10, that is the agility roll. The agility is equal for these men. So Ray Stevens is nailed by the death jump from Tommy Rich. Stevens in trouble here. Bockwinkel's going to use his last pin save attempt to interfere. And oh, it's a good one. On Snake Eyes, you and your partner brutalize the opponent. The opponent rolls pin. Tommy Rich can be pinned here on 5 or lower. And on a roll of 9, Rich able to kick out. Stevens still the legal man in the ring as Bockwinkel is being put out of the ring. Both teams now have used all of their pin saves. As Ray Stevens is in control, and this match is going to go out of the ring and down to the arena floor. On a roll of 8, it is Ray Stevens winning the brawl on the arena floor and slamming the head of Tommy Rich into the ring apron. Can Stevens finish off Tommy Rich here? Out of the ring we go again. Tommy Rich on the arena floor again. It is Stevens winning the brawl. This time with the help of the knitting needles. The dreaded knitting needles are back in play. Will Stevens be disqualified for that? Possibly. No, he will not be disqualified. Stevens able to surreptitiously use those knitting needles and get him out of the way. What a tag match, says Grant Bachoco. Nick Bockwinkel now tags in. He's the legal man in the ring. Bockwinkel sleeper applied. This may be all she wrote. The submission roll 8 or lower, and he is done. A tremendous tag team match. Sees Tommy Rich fall prey to the Bockwinkel sleeper. That legendary move. And it will be Nick Bockwinkel and Ray Stevens headed to Chicago to meet the Midnight Express. That should be another outstanding tag team match next month at the pay-per-view. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bockwinkel sleeper has claimed another victim. As you may know, if you've followed the Heartland, Nick Bockwinkel, the only man in the history of the Heartland with 2 victories over Andre the Giant, both by way of that Bockwinkel sleeper. So that is an impressive credential indeed for a very impressive wrestler in Nick Bockwinkel. And if you don't think Nick Bockwinkel is an impressive wrestler, just ask him. He'll be the first to tell you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time for the main event. as we try to get our stuff back together here. That granny should be barred from ringside, says Michael Brada. It was originally JT 2.0 who suggested that we add knitting needles to our collection of foreign objects. So, give credit where credit is due. And before the main event, just want to remind folks that we're still recruiting people for the Butcher Interpromotional Tournament. If you want to enter the Butcher Interpromotional Tournament, just send us a card. You can run the matches from time to time at home periodically. Grant Bachoco has offered to run some matches. It's very casual, very informal. Just a way to connect members of the Filsinger game community and give us something from week to week to discuss. I believe earlier in the show, Neely Bob was asking about Arn Anderson defending the Intercontinental Championship in the Heartland. I would love that. Next week, I think, is Heartland Ladies Wrestling, but 2 weeks from tonight, when we're back on the air, we can have Arn Anderson defend his Intercontinental Championship. We should also think about getting the tournament started. Roddy Piper has already been declared, as has Larry Zbyszko. The one limitation is that all entries into the Butcher Interpromotional Championship Tournament must be original Filsinger Games released official cards. So no champions, no bootlegs, Filsinger cards only, just for purposes of keeping things standardized. All right, and now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your main event of the evening. This match is for the vacant Patriot Heavyweight Championship. This will be a no disqualification match. I don't think that will be an issue with these two men, both of whom tend to stick closely to the technical side of the rules. Both natives of Pittsburgh. This should be a classic technical matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with no disqualification. This is for the Patriot Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, standing at 6'2", weighing 237 pounds. This is the Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle. And his opponent hails from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, standing at 5'10", weighing 265 pounds. This is Bruno Sammartino. So yeah, gosh, who wouldn't have wanted to see this matchup back in the day? Kurt Angle and Bruno Sammartino facing off with the Patriot Heavyweight Championship on the line. And it will be Bruno starting things off with the initiative roll, and he attempts a jumping knee. That is an agility move. Angle, with the agility advantage, is able to dodge that. Sammartino will have the advantage with regards to power. Angle now goes with a backbreaker that dumps Bruno Sammartino onto the canvas. Angle following that up with a body scissors combined with a sleeper hold, slowing down his man. Angle now with a German suplex. That's one. And boy, that level 6 on, that 6 on level 2 offense, that add one German suplex, that is devastating for Kurt Angle. And he has already put a point of fatigue on Bruno. And now it is Angle back in control with a European uppercut. Bruno getting to his feet. And it is now Kurt Angle with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Bruno. And on a roll of 6, that is the drop down and come back the other way. And now on a roll of 5, that is Bruno with a running shoulder tackle that puts Angle down onto the canvas. Let's see what Bruno can do on offense. He goes with another, not going to do another whip to the ropes. Instead, he is going to go for a test of strength. He does have the advantage here, and Angle steps back and is not going to entertain the test of strength. And instead, it is Angle catching a front face lock. Front face lock applied by Kurt Angle now, and another German. He took him down again. 2 German suplexes by Kurt Angle. And Bruno Sammartino has tasted the canvas now twice. Snap suplex now, attempted by Kurt Angle, blocked by Bruno. Bruno comes back. Again, not going to do the whip to the ropes. And instead, he is going to do a leg dive, takedown, and twist. Working on the lower body of Kurt Angle. Bruno follows that up with a jumping kick and nails Kurt Angle. David Cheslinski joining us here. As Bruno now is going to attempt a full Nelson. He'll need 7 or lower to complete that, and on a roll of 9, Angle is able to reverse his way out of the full Nelson and come back instead with a power bomb. He's going to go for the cover. The pin roll here is 4, and on a roll of 6, Bruno is able to kick out. But Angle is taking control now, and Angle is going to not let Bruno escape the ring. Bruno wanted to get out of the ring and take things to the outside, and instead, Angle dropped him with another power bomb. Kurt Angle just working on the back of the neck of Bruno Sammartino. German suplexes and now a power bomb. And another power bomb and another cover. The pin roll here is 5, and Sammartino kicks out again. Kurt Angle taking control in this matchup in a big way. And now an overhead belly to belly. And finally Bruno hits the canvas and rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor. On the arena floor, it is Bruno gaining the advantage. He wins the brawl on the arena floor with a drop kick over the security railing. Big kick to the midsection there by Bruno. Sends Angle tumbling over the security railing. Angle forced to make that helpless crawl back into the ring where Bruno's waiting, and now the Italian backbreaker has been applied. This is a +3 finisher. The submission roll is 5. And on a roll of 9, Angle able to survive. And Bruno stays on him now, pitches him out of the ring yet again. Kurt Angle on the arena floor now, and on a roll of 7, it is Bruno winning the brawl on the arena floor with a pile driver onto the ring steps. Bruno pulling out all the stops here. Bruno now with a head-first body slam onto the mat. Angle tries to struggle to his feet. Bruno stays on him. Shoulder rams in the corner. Working the midsection. Bruno follows that up. He's going to attempt the full Nelson again. And this time the full Nelson is in place. And he's going to try and force a submission here. And Angle is able to make it to the ropes. Bruno Sammartino has slowed things down and is on the comeback trail here. What's he going to do now? Out of the ring we go again. This is Bruno's playground, but on a roll of 3, it is Kurt Angle who pulls Bruno Sammartino out of the ring by the leg. Irish whip, and Bruno slams hard into the ring barricade. Kurt Angle finally getting the best of Bruno on the arena floor, and now the Olympic slam back in the ring. He's going to go for the cover, and on a roll of 10, Bruno kicks out, but Bruno in trouble here. Can Kurt Angle finish him off? Bruno tries to get out of the ring. Angle prevents that. Angle instead with a snap suplex. Bruno blocks it. Bruno returns fire, attempting a jumping knee. Angle sidesteps the jumping knee. Angle now with another attempt at the snap suplex. This time he got him over and down. Angle in control. Another big German. Takes more of the starch out of Bruno. Bruno slowly getting to his feet. Backbreaker by Kurt Angle across the knee. Sammartino, another German. Wow. Kurt Angle has just taken all kinds of liberties with Bruno Sammartino here. European uppercut to the side of the head. Body scissors applied. Weakening Bruno. Angle with another European uppercut. Angle now with another European uppercut. Bruno finally staggers to his feet. Angle takes him down with a front face lock. Angle now with another backbreaker. Bruno will not stay down. He's got 7 points of fatigue, but he continues to fight. Body scissors again applied by Kurt Angle. Angle now with another European uppercut. Bruno on rubber legs, but standing his ground. Body scissors again. Angle now with another European uppercut. Bruno fires back. Whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Kurt Angle, and on a roll of 11. That is both men coming off with their big specialty moves. Angle, the better turnbuckle rating, wins that exchange. And it is now Angle in control, and Angle going up for a death jump. Thinking about a death jump, actually thought better of it. Bruno is a death jump A. So instead, Angle will go for the power bomb. And now he goes for the cover. The pin roll here is 9. And finally, he got him. Kurt Angle with a spectacular performance to win the Patriot Heavyweight Championship here tonight in Philadelphia. A battle of two Pittsburgh natives. Finally won by Kurt Angle. And really it was that repeated use of the German suplex that was what allowed Angle to take control in that match and weaken Bruno Sammartino and take him down once and for all to be finished off with that big power slam. So congratulations to your winner and new Patriot Heavyweight Champion, the Olympic hero Kurt Angle. All right, we are finished up here for tonight from the Dave Cave. Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. David Cheslinski, Michael Brada, solo promoter Grant Bachoco, Mark Ferguson, Neely Bob, Bear 805, Kathy Evans, I believe, was here earlier tonight. Miho Burns, I missed Miho Burns coming in, sorry about that. Jay Randus, and Derek Bauman 802. So thank you one and all for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. That's our stream, and I am out of here.